It's not like anybody asked me about making a MOOC for printmaking, massively open online course for printmaking. But if anyone were to ask me what I would do, this is what I think. There was a time in my career when going to the university, getting a degree, getting 2 degrees was my highest goal. And then I got a job teaching in the university, and that was a goal even higher. I never dreamed I would become a full professor of printmaking in a major university, but I did. And I had a great time for 19 years until I discovered that the university wasn't what I thought it was. And so when I left, I decided I would make my own university. The technologies were becoming available, those being video and computer graphics and merging, and I had everything I needed. I decided that I would retain the idea I had that professors were somehow great. They were like gods. And I held them in high esteem. And I wanted to know as much about their life, how they reached that level, how they attained their happiness, and how I might be able to do the same thing. And most importantly, how I might be able to teach young people, older people coming into the university community the same things. And I can do that now. And we know that the MOOC is effective in that it utilizes the technologies available, including the cloud, to reach literally tens or hundreds of thousands of people around the clock, around the world. A teacher couldn't ask for a more perfect university, provided that he or she had the content to justify that high level. And so the MOOC that I would design would include the values of the teacher. The teacher wouldn't be just another cog in the wheel, another professor of high rank who had published books that were peer-reviewed and branded with the name of an institution. No, it would be that professor's own making, regardless of whether they were in a branded institution of higher education or out in some other kind of world, a perfect world. The first thing I did was develop a perfect world out of what I had learned at the University of Washington by trial and error and by listening to my students' feedback, and when those students graduated, watching them as they applied what they had learned in my classes, in other classes, in the campus. I found there were 10 domains of expertise, and I divided those domains and made them into parts of this perfect world, of this university. Somewhere along the line, in 2004, I discovered that in my field, printmaking, one of the obstacles was the printing press. It was an obstacle, and yet it was a gateway. As an obstacle, it was too heavy, too big, too expensive for most people to use or have when they got out of the university, unless they could work in a cooperative fashion with other people. There's so many dimensions. Anyway, my MOOC would include the content of an individual professor who could work collaboratively, cooperate, and collaborate, with other people, because that became an insurance policy for hope. There's so much more I'd like to say, but my time is up. Thank you for watching. I'm Bill Ritchie.